Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessed Mess Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, we are reading from Melody Beattie's The Language of Letting Go. The reading for April 15th on page 103, Communication. Part of owning our power is learning to communicate clearly, directly, and assertively. We don't have to beat around the bush in our conversations to control the reactions of others. Guilt-producing comments only produce guilt. We don't have to fix or take care of people with our words. We can't expect others to take care of us with words either. We can settle for being heard and accepted, and we can respectfully listen to what others have to say. Hinting at what we need doesn't work. Who can relate to that? Others can't read our mind, and they're likely to resent our indirectness. The best way to take responsibility for what we want is to ask for it directly, and we can insist on directness from others. If we need to say no to a particular request, we can. If someone is trying to control us through a conversation, we can refuse to participate. Acknowledging feelings such as disappointment or anger directly, instead of making others guess at our feelings or having our feelings come out in other ways, is part of responsible communication. If we don't know what we want to say, we can say that too. We can ask for information and use words to forego a closer connection. But we don't have to take people around the block with our conversations. We don't have to listen to or participate in nonsense. We can say what we want and stop when we're done. Today, I will communicate clearly and directly in my conversations with others. I will strive to avoid manipulative, indirect, or guilt-producing statements. I can be tactful and gentle whenever possible, and I can be assertive if necessary. I want to give a little caveat, to what they're saying here about communicating clearly and directly and avoiding manipulative, indirect, or guilt-producing statements. And it is this: that until you become self-aware, which is what coaching helps you do, until you become more self-aware and compassionately self-aware, you are not going to be able to recognize when you're being manipulative, indirect, or guilt-producing with your communications. You will justify it, you will ignore it, or you flat out won't see it. So perhaps you are someone who this isn't landing with, and maybe it's because you've learned a really healthy way of communicating, and that is amazing. And please share it with the world. But if you're someone who maybe is scoffing at this reading or at the suggestion that you may be doing these things, there's a saying in program: if you spot it, you got it. And if it makes you mad, you got it bad. And I love that because it hurts so good. It's so true. And I had a really hard time. I remember the process of mostly feeling like a victim to finally starting to see the way that I was communicating in ways that were very unhealthy and unkind and unfair. And then I went through a phase where I know calling people out on their also unfair, unhealthy ways that they were communicating. growing pains, all right? But it was only through coaching that I was able to slow myself down enough and learn a way to analyze my reactions and the whole process of something happens. I have a thought about it, which creates an emotion, which leads to my actions, and then working backwards. I know I did this, so what was I thinking, and or what was I feeling, and then what thought led to that feeling. It's a really helpful way to actually see your part. And I think for a long time, a block in my recovery, it was just not seeing my part, in things, and only seeing what other people are doing. And so the tricky thing there is that you don't know what you don't know. And so if that's you, what you might be noticing is that you are in program, but you're not happy and thriving. Like you have sobriety or abstinence, but your relationships and your emotions are still very much a struggle. And so if that's you, I can help you. And I want to help you because I know how life-changing that has been for me. And it's not that like things don't go bad, and it's not that I'm still not a work in progress, but I've come a long way, and I'm starting to learn to spot things before they become as big of a problem, and I'm becoming less reactive, and I'm becoming more self-aware and more compassionate with myself, which then allows me to have compassion for others where I just couldn't before. So reach out if you want help with that. And if not, or if you don't need it, or if you're not ready yet, that's okay too. And keep going to your meetings and keep going to your therapy sessions and keep working the program. And not everybody needs coaching. It's not for everybody. But for those who do need it, or those who have those issues I listed, it can be really life-changing. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess, and I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.